get out of town, I huffed. My 14-year-old had a rendezvous out west, the details I don't want to get into right now. So I packed the girl and I packed the tent. I packed the Fujifilm X-T1 and I packed the Olympus XA2 with a roll of black and white. The drive out was miserable, wet, grey, heartbroken tune sung to a country beat, and it kept me company while my 14-year-old flicked through whatever 14-year-olds flick through on their phone. The conversation, like the rain, was intermittent. We headed up and over the range, then down onto those gentle rolling hills of the downs. The roads became quiet, the landscape peaceful, the land is soft. Tent up, unpacked, night fell. First order of business, the rodeo. I've been here before, 2 years ago, and I wanted to try and capture it again on the Fujifilm X-T1. 2 years ago I tried the 27mm lens here, losing my lens cap in the process. 2 years later and thousands of photos more, could I beat my last effort? 2 years and hundreds of shots later, I wondered if I could do a better job this time. Spoiler alert, I couldn't. Man and beast. 8 seconds, the caller with a voice of gravel, the riders with balls of steel. Two opposing forces meeting in the dust and the sweat and adrenaline. The crowds roared, the cowboys cussed, the beats pounded and jerked in around the makeshift ring. Beers were sunk, the devil's lettuce was smoked. Atmosphere, unbelievable. Cowboy on, the caller would yell through the microphone. 8 seconds, judges, prepare your score. He'd continue as he told the crowd what small town the cowboy hailed from and what beast he was riding. Names like the Condamine Cowboy, the Murumba Mauler and the Gympie Gravedigger hailed across the crowd. The sun rose over the hungover show. Equestrian and show jumpers filled the ring, prancing, dancing and jumping over man-made obstacles. Horse people, all pompous, all made up, all dressed up, laced up there with their horses, trotting. I pulled out the Olympus XA2, but I'd mistakenly loaded Kentmere 400 instead of preferred film of Fomapam 100 for those joining me from the Frugal film project. To be candid, this show would have been better captured in colour. The gaudy lights of Sideshow Alley, the solid colours of the cowboys, the greens and the browns that accompany every country show. Yet for some reason I chose black and white. I'm not altogether thrilled with the photos, but I don't hate them either. The XA2 is showing its limitations, along with my film development and scanning workflow. Despite the handicaps of my gear and skills, I still managed to have a remarkable time. I'd arrived wound up tight like a spring, wound up, bound up, my mind in knots. 24 hours west is just what I needed to unwind. Unwind with essentially no schedule and essentially nowhere else to be. Unwind with a few cameras and my daughter to boot. I may not be the country type, not in the classic sense. What I do love though is getting out to these shows, especially doing it with my daughter. I love capturing, documenting the horses, the dogs, the sheep, the cattle. I love the wood shop, the sideshow alley, the attractions and the local flavours. I love the relaxed country feel and the relaxed country way. And if you've gotten this far, I've loved sharing it with you.